as long as I've thought about it, you know, as long as I've tried to be a professional writer, I've felt that I'm interested in some ways only in telling the truth about things that I don't want to talk about or that other people might not want to talk about. And what's different with this play for me is that it becomes less purely psychological and more perhaps political, dealing with recent history, dealing with current events, but the same idea. You know, this idea that that there are things that we either don't see, can't see, don't want to see, and that it's important that we try to. You know, the idea being that we'll be healthier, happier if we do. Yeah, I mean, one way I identify what I want to write about is always what terrifies me the most. You know, and that's when I usually go, oh, okay, I guess I got to do this play now, because that's the thing that and it can terrify me for many reasons. You know, it can terrify me because I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how. You know, part of what was intimidating about Paul's story again was marshaling all this material that I didn't normally write about into the type of story that I could tell organically from my heart, you know. But it was also, it's in the play where the Dan character says, you know, I would read a few pages of your book, Paul, and I'd have to put it down and go take a shower because it was just too, so dark. I mean, some of the things he's witnessed are so horrific. And to even through his writing, you know, re-experience that was so daunting and frightening to me. So what was interesting was that with time I became inured to it. I became, in a very tiny way, I've experienced a little bit of what a combat journalist would experience. You know, now I go back to writing poems about sunsets in the country, and I can't do it. I have no interest in it. I feel like there's something, in a very small way, there's a bit of that dark compulsion towards what Paul deals with, because it feels so truthful and so high stakes. So it's an ambivalent place in the sense that I don't necessarily think that's a good thing to suddenly only feel like I can write about horrible things that people have done to each other. You know, there is more to life than just that. But yeah, I really stumbled upon in Paul a wonderful example, a very externalized example of something that's been with me as long as I've been writing, which is the desire to write about what no one seems to want to hear, which is a bit of a challenge when you're in a popular medium, when you're also trying to reach people. You know, it's a real challenge to say, okay, I'm going to write about, and Paul deals with it too, I'm going to write stories or take pictures about things people don't want to see, but I'm going to make them see it. I'm going to make them care. And to some degree it works, and maybe it only works with a small amount of people, but you know, that right there is a challenge. I'm not striving to simply entertain an audience, although I go back to the Irish storytelling. Of course it has to tell a story and be entertaining, but I'm most interested in bringing something out of the dark into the light. Yeah.